Hello, everyone. I am Cassandra Herbert with Zest and Harmony Counseling, Coaching, and Consulting. And I want to welcome you to the webinar, 3 Simple Strategies to Feel Lighter, More Energetic, and Have Inner and Outer Vibrancy this autumn. Now, I know I want that, and I'm hoping you are too wanting that. So I'm going to keep my webcam on for a little bit, but then I'm going to turn it off so you can see the slides, but a little bit of housekeeping. So if you are listening on via the web, actually over in the left-hand side, there is a chat and you can chat. So if I ask you questions and everything, you can put it in there. Or if questions come up for you, like you have this aha moment or you have any questions, please post it on that chat box and I'll see that and I will be able to answer the questions. Also, yeah, I think that's the housekeeping things. So let's see. So just know that the information received from myself is not meant to diagnose, prescribe, or treat illness. The information in this presentation is not intended to replace a one-to-one relationship with a qualified healthcare professional. We recommend consulting with a licensed health professional before making any major dietary changes or lifestyle changes. This webinar is intended as a sharing of my knowledge, information, and resources to celebrate and support your health. So the objectives for this webinar are that we're going to explore what traditional Chinese medicine has to say about autumn. We're also going to learn about the fire system, which is housed in our solar plexus chakra, and why, as busy professionals, we tend to burn out that system. We're also going to discover several tips for cleansing the mind, body, and spirit, as well as how we can nourish that fire system and bring it back into harmony. We're going to learn what foods and activities are beneficial to your well-being during the autumn, as well as examine the importance of doing a detox and learn about my upcoming autumn detox. So before I start, I like to do a little meditation. I like to do a little centering exercise before I do any workshop, presentation, webinar, because I know that I've had a busy day, and I'm sure you have. And I also want to honor our time together, and I want you to get the most out of this presentation. And I feel like if we can just present ourselves, come to this present moment by doing a little centering, that you will get what you will need. And by centering myself, I'll be able to give you what you need. So putting your feet flat on the ground, relaxing your shoulders. If you feel comfortable, closing your eyes. And just taking a deep breath, filling up your belly like in a balloon, holding it. And slowly, gently releasing, letting go of whatever's not serving you in this present moment. Letting go of any stresses that you might have had during the day. And as you breathe in, breathing in what you need during this time. Whatever tips, whatever resources that you need, or if you just need to be calm and peaceful at this time, breathing that in. And then just sitting in this present moment for a few more seconds and setting your intention while you're here with me for the next 60 minutes, whatever that intention might be, because when we set that intention, we will receive it. And wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, opening your eyes if they were closed. And then I always like to move, shake it off, right? So I like to move. So again, welcome. I know that you can be doing anything on this Wednesday evening, or if you're listening to the replay, you could be doing something else, but you are here with me, and I am here to share with you, how you can feel healthy, happy, and energized this autumn. So if you want a copy of these slides, I did put on the side a copy of them. And at the end, I'm also giving everyone who attended this webinar a free gift. So stay tuned for that. So I'm just going to shut off my cam and widen these slides up. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can't, just let me, well, you wouldn't even know that, right? But hopefully you can hear me. If you can't hear me, just put in yes. So I want to say, what do you enjoy about the autumn season? You know, what do you really like about it? I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, just so that we can set the picture of why I'm even offering this webinar. So I have learned to enjoy the autumn season. There are so many things that I'm going to share that I actually appreciate about the autumn, but it hasn't always been like that. Probably when I was growing up, so probably between 5 and 18, I would say, I did enjoy the autumn. It wasn't until I probably got 18, 19, 20, college. So between 18 and 30, I did not like the autumn. I am a yang girl. So what does that mean? I have a lot of yang energy. And I'm going to talk about the difference between yang energy and yin energy. So yang energy is that on the go, doing very goal focused, very high achiever, or wants to get things done. It is the time of year in the springtime and in the summertime. And that's what I enjoyed. So when the autumn time came, I was very resistant to going with that season. Autumn is a time for slowing down, which I'm going to talk about later on in the presentation. But I went against that. I didn't want to slow down. I wanted sunshine. I wanted to be, active and doing things. And as a result, I was going against that. And then I didn't feel like I had the energy and I was burning out. And so to get that energy, I was also craving sugar, buttercream cakes and donuts and Reese's peanut butter and cups and all those things. And so I was feeding that so that I would have the energy to do all the stuff that I was doing in the spring and in the autumn time. And I'm going to tell you that wreaked havoc on my system. I had a overgrowth of candida for at least 12 years of my life, did not even know that. That also affected my mood. In the autumn and winter time, I had no energy. Like I would feel depleted no matter how much sleep I got. I also had digestive issues. And my mood, I was just more pessimistic. I wanted to stay in the bed. I probably most likely had seasonal affective disorder. I mean, I had all of these things, and it's all because I wasn't going with the season and I was still resistant and I wanted that sunshine and to be doing things, but I couldn't. It was like the universe was telling me to slow down, but I wouldn't. And so as a result, I was getting sick. And it wasn't until I realized, first of all, I had an overgrowth of candida. I was feeding it with sugar, that I actually did a detox and an elimination diet and eliminated those foods, those toxic foods, that sugar and those simple carbohydrates, and healed my digestive system, because my digestive system had a whole bunch of inflammation. I was chronically constipated, all of that. So it didn't matter if I ate healthy foods. I wasn't absorbing the vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients that those healthy foods gave me. And it was affecting my energy. It was affecting my mood. And once I changed that and I did a detox, a 3-day detox, and I got rid of sugar, and I really started appreciating what autumn was bringing, that's when I felt better during the autumn time. Now, I'm going to tell you, even to this day, I appreciate the autumn. And some of the things that I appreciate about it is the spices, like the spices that I'm going to talk about, making soups and stews. I'm such a foodie, so I love making that. The colors, the vibrant colors. Also, I'm just thinking, apple cider, like on this picture, apple cider. I appreciate all that. I actually now appreciate slowing down. But even with that, my body still, like this autumn, I was like, why am I so tired? Why am I so tired? And I realized it's autumn time and it's okay to be tired. It's okay to get more rest. And I'm going to talk about how traditional Chinese medicine said this is a time to go within to get more rest. And it's about listening to your body and doing that. And see, the more I do that, the better I feel and the less I'm prone to getting sick. I hardly get, colds and flus and stuff like that. So what I want to ask you during right now is, what do you enjoy about the autumn? And if you're listening live, you can type it in. If you're listening to a replay, just taking a note. What are some of the things that you enjoy about the autumn? Do you like the autumn season? And like I said, it's about like I appreciate now everything about the different seasons, but it hasn't always been like that. So as I was saying, traditional Chinese medicine and autumn. So in traditional Chinese medicine, which I have studied, each thing, so they have an element or organ, an emotion, a flavor, and a color, and the energetic, like the yin and the yang that goes with each season. So for the autumn season, we have the metal. So we have the metal is the element that goes with that. And so what does that actually mean? Well, a metal element is associated, it governs organization, order, communication, setting limits, and protecting boundaries. So during this time, it's a good time to finish projects that you began in the summer or that you even began in the spring. It's about harvesting the bounty of your hard work, And like I said, it's also a great time to begin to be more introspective, to reflect, to go within, to do indoor projects. Because if we think about the summer, traditional Chinese medicine with the summer, that is the fire element. And that deals more with the external. So that's about traveling. That's about being outdoors, going to the beach. If we look at it, that's weddings and graduations. A lot of that stuff happens in the summertime, where this is more about organizing your life and getting ready for the winter season, which is so autumn is the start of the yin season, and then winter goes really into that yin season. So that's what the metal, is about. And then if we look at it, we go also the organs. So the organs are the lungs and the large intestine. So the lungs are about our breathing. And if we think about during this time of year, we might have challenges. Like I know a lot of people who start having like either allergies or bronchitis, or even though this isn't the lungs, but even sinus problems, as well as our large intestine. So that large intestine is about our digestive system. It's also about energetically about letting go of what no longer serves us. And we're really going to talk about that when we talk about the solar plexus chakra, but that large intestine. So what we want to do is do things that heal our lungs as well as, or restore our lungs and our large intestine's health. All right. So the emotion is grief and sadness. So this is about like when we let go of things, what happens? There is a process for us that we're letting go of, like you think about it, as we go into the autumn, we're letting go of the summer. We're letting go of that activity, which I had a very difficult time doing. We're giving up long days of sunlight. We're giving up warm temperatures. We're giving up opening of our windows, right? But at that same time as we're letting go, we're bringing in the cooler weather. We're bringing in the vibrancy of the leaves, right? So a lot of times what this can bring us is things that we've let go of in our lives, or grief or losses, and so it's also a time. So the emotion, as you can see, is grief. That is the emotion that goes with the autumn time, is grief and sadness. And a lot of times in our culture, we don't allow that, right? We don't allow grief or sadness in our culture, but that's okay when we're letting go. So this is also about letting go of things that don't serve us anymore. So we're going within, and sometimes when we're so busy in the summertime, we don't see things that we might have said yes to, or people in our lives, or even things in our environment that now, as we take some time to slow down and look at it, it's time to let it go, right? So the flavor is pungent, and we're going to talk more about that when we get to the foods. And the color is white. So anytime you have any questions, that puts that in the chat and I will answer those. So now what happens when you have a metal imbalance? Well, in traditional Chinese medicine, they say that this metal imbalance, there's grief stricken. Like you just don't want to, you feel this intense loss, and this can happen to people. Like I find I'm also a psychotherapist. So a lot of times, during this time of year, I find that people can be more sad, or they have this heaviness, this grief on them. So it's extreme sadness. As I said, for many years, I had seasonal affective disorder, that sadness, because I wasn't going with the season. I was resistant to it. I didn't know what I knew now, and that difficulty of letting go. I did not want to let go. I didn't want to let go of that summertime, of that yang energy. But this could be just difficulty letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I mean that in a way that, just where you realize the person is toxic. This could be letting go of the way you eat. Like I said, I was feeding my candida. I had no idea, but I was feeding it with sugar. I mean, I was addicted to sugar. So to be able to let go of that relationship with sugary foods was challenging. So it could be something like that. It could be letting go of things in your house that are cluttery, that's cluttering the space, whatever toxins. So some of the illnesses of the lungs are, like I said, asthma, allergies, frequent colds. So looking, I have clients who a lot of times get sick during this time of year. And that could show that you have a metal imbalance. And a lot of times, traditional Chinese medicine says, if you're resistant towards the season that's coming in, you can have illnesses. Usually I would get ill during the wintertime. It'd be January. And that's because I was resistant to the season beforehand. So some illnesses of the large intestine, constipation, diarrhea, bowel disease, but that could also be, some of that goes into the small intestine. So it can also be like acid reflux, indigestion, all of those things. And some of the emotions, jealousy, unwillingness to change, because you don't want to let go. You want things just the way they are. And that can cause a lot of heaviness. So now the other thing I was talking about is the fire system. So I am a certified food and spirit practitioner. And this is a course through Dr. Deanna Minich. And part of that is using traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, as well as the chakra system, and looking at that as 7 health systems. Okay, so we have the root, which is part of the root chakra, the flow system, which is part of the sacral chakra, and the fire system, which is part of the solar plexus. So now when we look at this, the fire system, so I'm just going to ask you some questions about, this is when your fire system is out of balance. Basically, you're like the type A personality. You're a go-getter. You're competitive with others. You're fixated on goals. Difficulty to stay balanced. You're a classic workaholic. You say yes to everything because guess what? You believe you can do it all. Those are my clients, the busy professional superwoman. I can do it all. I can be it all. I want to say yes. But under that is I don't feel worthy, right? So that's right in our core. I don't feel worthy. You're tightly wound with high expectations of self and others. You want life to go your way and you overthink everything. So you're all in your mind, Also, the foods that you might be eating foods that are high in sugar and simple carbohydrates. I've said I've done that, right? You eat highly processed, convenient foods. You are not eating enough fiber. Your digestive system is sluggish. You might even have some blood sugar imbalances. You might feel hot after eating. You eat fast. You eat on the run. You're a stress eater. So if any of those things, that could mean that your fire system is out of balance. You also might have challenges with feeling confident, with your self-esteem, all of that, because the fire system, first of all, is about the organs that it embodies is actually your stomach, your pancreas, your liver, your gallbladder, and your small intestine. Now, your stomach, so you might have problems with that. Your pancreas, which is all about your the way you manage your blood sugar. And so that can, like I told you, I was eating lots of sugar. So my blood sugar was out of balance. I have insulin resistant, even though I've changed the way I ate, I'm still insulin resistant. Most of my clients are. Why? Because we're stressed. But energetically, this is about our drive and our ambition. It's about our energy, our power, and our confidence. So this is where we are able to transform the nutrients that we eat. This is also about boundaries. So when we looked at it's kind of overlaps traditional Chinese medicine because we talked about saying no, setting boundaries, having that work-life balance. But what happens to many of us busy professional people? We don't have that. We're always doing more. We're doing a lot, and we're not in alignment with our core, which is the fire system. And as a result, what do? We burn out. We feel fried. We're tired all the time, and we have these digestive issues. So I'm going to tell you how you can actually nourish that system and have more harmony within that. So this is what we're going to talk about. Staying healthy in the autumn. So we're going to talk about some foods and spices to eat with the season, as well as how to nourish your solar plexus chakra, the fire system, and what you can do to support your digestive system. So those are going to be the 3 simple strategies that I talked about on how to feel lighter and how to feel more energetic and have inner and outer vibrancy. I'm also going to give you some bonus tips on how to cleanse not just your body, but your mind and your spirit. So foods for the autumn. Before I go any further, I want to see if there's any questions, anything that coming up with you, anything can you relate? Do you feel like your fire system is off? I know, I know for many years mine has been, and at times mine still is, because yes, I can know all these things, but I can get back into very easily. So here are some of the things. So foods for the autumn. Now, in traditional Chinese medicine, as well as Ayurveda medicine, it is all about eating with the seasons. Studies have shown that if you eat with the seasons, you're actually going to be less prone to illness and dis-ease. And that's because if we're eating with what Mother Nature is already providing us, guess what? We're going to feel good because these are the foods that are in abundance. So we've got sweet potatoes. Oh my goodness, I love sweet potatoes. And my favorite thing with sweet potatoes is to actually bake a sweet potato and add cinnamon and coconut oil to it. Yum. Or you can do butter. If you eat butter, you can do that. It is, first of all, sweet potato is a very grounding vegetable. It helps to nourish your root chakra. Cinnamon is what we're going to talk about. It helps with your digestive system, also with your blood sugar management. And so this is a very good food to eat. Turnips, beets, love beets. Now, if you buy beets, you want to get organic beets because a lot of the sugar beets are genetically modified. And so you want to make sure you get organic beets. Roasted beets, my favorite. You just wash them, put them in the oven, roast them, and you can roast them with some coconut oil, some salt and pepper. Yummy. Parsnips, butternut squash. Love butternut squash soup. Pumpkin, winter squash, so your acorn squash. The other day I was at a conference, I had acorn, I didn't even know, I thought it was eggplant, but it was acorn squash with cinnamon, and it was like cold, but it was like a dessert. I was like, this tastes so good that I went home and I baked the acorn squash. I had it warm with some cinnamon. Oh my goodness, it was so sweet. It tastes like there was sugar on it, but there wasn't. It was just sweet. Mustard greens filled with iron and magnesium and calcium, great for your bones. And when you're eating stuff with iron, add a little bit of a food with vitamin C in it, and it'll help the iron to absorb better in your system. So I like to add red peppers to any type of greens like mustard greens or collard greens or some lemon. Uh, Pears and apples. You know, these are the things that are in season. Clementine, cranberries, figs. Last night I had a great dish. It was peas with mushrooms and it had some cranberry sauce. Yum. These are great foods that are in abundance, that are really great for you during this time of year. And as you can see, they're heavier foods than are in the summer, like watermelon and peaches, more of those sweeter fruits, those lighter greens that you eat because you need the energy because you're doing lots of stuff, where now it's more grounding. You're more centered. You know, this is more about going within, relaxing, and getting more sleep, right? So also herbs for the autumn. It's your aromatic herbs. But the other thing with these herbs, when we get to talking about nourishing the fire system, these are herbs. If we go back to that slide, I'm going to go back where here it talked about foods that nourish your fire system. Some of those are ginger root that nourish it. It's also like spices that, you know, cinnamon, ginger, turmeric, nutmeg, all of those. You think about ginger, how that is so good. Like if you were feeling nauseated or you have an upset stomach, you drink ginger. I've been having ginger tea all day today. These are just great herbs to add. And they're, oh my goodness, they smell so good, right? You think about cinnamon and nutmeg, and you can add that to your squash, or you can make a dish of roasted vegetables and adding that. And these will help keep you in balance during the autumn season. Now, the other thing is, here is a recipe. It's one of my favorite recipes. It's on my blog at zestandharmonycounseling.com. If you go there, I've sent it out in my newsletter. So some of you might already have this, but it's called my ginger turmeric latte. And I recently did a blog post about, you know, are you choosing, you know, going to Starbucks and having the pumpkin latte, which a lot of people are like, yay, it's autumn time, I'm going to get pumpkin latte. But the ingredients in there, you need to really research. It has lots of sugar, lots of processed stuff and things like that. When you can make your own ginger turmeric latte, you use some unsweetened coconut milk, some coconut oil, turmeric, anti-inflammatory. The thing about turmeric is, oh, I don't think I even added that. You want to do a dash. The thing about turmeric is, for it to be readily available in your system, curcumin is the ingredient in turmeric that has the health benefits. You want to add a little bit of pepper. Our body doesn't necessarily absorb curcumin, but if you add some pepper, just a dash of pepper. So I forgot to put it on here. Wow, on this recipe is adding a dash of pepper. It actually helps the curcumin in turmeric to absorb over like 200% more in your body. That's wow, wow, wow. So if you're going to do turmeric, add a little pepper to it. It helps for your digestive system to absorb it better, and it's going to be more readily available to the rest of your body. So this has turmeric and ginger, and you can use either fresh or powdered. You can use cacao if you want, and then local raw honey and a dash of cinnamon, and you'll see why I say unsweetened coconut milk. So you place all these ingredients in a small pot, and you warm ingredients on medium heat until hot, but you don't want to boil them. And then you add all those ingredients to a blender. You add a little bit more of the coconut milk to it, because you want the cool coconut milk, and then you add the honey, and then you blend for about 20 seconds. This is the key, because when you blend it, it becomes frothy, and then you pour it in a glass, and you put it some cinnamon. Oh my goodness, delicious, so yummy, so great. So this is yum. So try it, let me know how it goes. So now the other is, how do you nourish your fire system? So I talked about this, right? Your fire system. So your fire system, each of the systems is associated with a different color food. So the foods that nourish your fire system is carbohydrates. Okay, but this is not about the simple carbohydrates. This is about the grains and the the complex carbohydrates. Why? Because this is fuel that's going to be sustainable. We're talking about our fire system. Our fire system is the system that helps us to get things done. And what happens is usually we're trying to burn that out by doing lots of stuff during the autumn time. And so some ways to nourish that fire system is by eating more of the, if you're not sensitive to grains, carbohydrates, stuff like that. So even starchy, like the sweet potatoes that I talked about, or parsnips. The other thing that helps to nourish the fire system is yellow foods. So yellow foods would be like your pineapple, your banana. Those can be high glycemic foods. So you have to listen to your body and see how you react to those. The other is a squash, yellow squash, and squash, like the acorn squash. It's a beautiful yellow. And then also those spices that heat up your system. So jalapenos and cinnamon and all of those spices that kind of, warm your system up. Ginger, like we talked about. And the other thing that you want to do is eat high fiber foods. That's going to help your digestive system, because this is about your digestive system. As I said, I got sluggish. Most of us as Americans don't eat enough fiber-rich foods. So if we can do that, that can help to restore, our digestive system, get things regular, get things moving. So those are some of those things. Also black pepper, right? So chili, jalapenos, black pepper, all of those spices are going to help your digestive system. Is there any? Oh, and also beans, so legumes. So the thing about with beans and legumes is, with my clients, I always recommend that they soak them, let them sprout, soak them and sprout them, because that's going to help you to digest them better. Because a lot of people say, I get gassy. I get gassy after I eat beans and legumes or something like that. So it's about, like, you might have some digestive system issues going on, but if you eat the beans, sprouting and soaking them can help that. And you could do the lentils. They're more easy to digest. So those are things. But if you look at those foods, those are what gives us our energy, But the other thing that's going to help is really looking at things that you need to say no to, getting into alignment with your core, your thing. So like Danielle Laporte says, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. It's a no. It's a no. I know for myself, I would say yes to a lot of things. I know my clients do. And underneath that is because we want to be liked, or it's a worthiness. I actually really, it did something for me when people would say, how do you do it all? How do you do it all? Like, it boosted me up, because I wasn't really feeling worthy within myself. And I'm like, I just do. I don't know. But then at times I'd get so overwhelmed. I would like come to this wall, and I couldn't do it all. Like, I thought the balls were going to fall and people were going to find out I couldn't do it all. And I'd be crying. And then I would realize, I don't like this. I don't like this feeling of overwhelm. And then I would let go of stuff, create more space in my schedule, and then it'd get better, and I'd do it all over again. And I was like, I'm creating this. I'm the one creating this overwhelm. No one is making me. So it's like, now, before I say yes, I say, let me think about it. And I go within, and I really see if this is an alignment of how I want to show up in the world. Is this in alignment with what I want to do? And if it's not, it's okay. And I say no. I have this thing in my office that I'm reading right now. It says, life is a balance between holding on and letting go. And it really is. But those are some things that you can do to, nourish your fire system. It's about like those certain type of foods, and then, your balanced lifestyle, setting limits, setting boundaries, letting go of things that no longer serve you. Now we're going into, how do we cleanse the lower GI tract? How do we restore that? How do we get that back into harmony? Well, first of all, we want to make sure we're drinking plenty of water. Plenty of water. And how much water should we be drinking? Half our weight in ounces of water is what research says, that we should be doing that. And during this time of year, I do a lot more teas, herbal teas, so that can count. If you do soups, that can count, because but you really do, we want to have more water in our system, and that's going to nourish our flow, our sacral chakra, getting us more in the flow. If we feel that we're not in the flow, if we feel like we're rigid, if we feel like we have an imbalance of that, then drinking that water. Also taking a great probiotic. Not all probiotics are created equal, so really do your research on probiotics, but probiotics and fermented foods. So fermented foods such as kimchi and sauerkraut, kombucha. But now the thing with kombucha, I say watch that, because a lot of the kombuchas, you want to read how much sugar they have in it. I've read where it's had 8 grams per serving, and it's 2 servings per bottle. That's 16 grams of sugar. I usually get the ones that are 1 or 2 grams of sugar per serving. Now, I've made kombucha, and you have to put sugar in it, but you don't have to add extra sugar to it. And sometimes that is added. But the thing about fermented foods, they actually contain beneficial probiotics, digestive enzymes, and health-boosting nutrients. You can make your own sauerkraut. You can have kefir. So there's many ways. You can even have fermented vegetables. Oh my goodness, like carrots and stuff like that. So fermented foods are really going to help your digestive system. But you also want to see if you are sensitive to those. So because sometimes when your digestive system is having some challenges, you might be histamine sensitive, different things like that. So see how you feel when you eat fermented foods. If you're feeling worse, you might have some other issues going on. Again, foods high in fiber. Also, magnesium, taking a magnesium supplement, or eating magnesium rich foods. Magnesium controls like over, I think, 300 enzyme functions in our body. So that's really good. But also, research has showed that most people who are deficient in magnesium also have some lower intestinal health problems. And that actually taking magnesium can help support your digestive system. So that's good to know. I do that. Also, an enema, enema can help clear out things. And that can be, a coffee enema can clear a year's worth of encrusted waste and detoxify your liver at the same time. And actually, you can go to treatingcanceralternatively.com, and there's a coffee enema recipe. And I'm actually I did a blog post in 2014, Boost Your Health by Cleansing Your Body, Mind, Spirit, this autumn. And I'm actually going to put this on so that you all can have the link to that and have some of these tips that are similar to the ones that I am sharing on this webinar. So there's that. Also doing an autumn cleanse. An autumn cleanse can help you, or autumn detox can help you get rid of things that no longer serve you. So you might be saying, well, okay, I hear you, but do I need to do a detox? What is a detox? Do I need to do a detox? Is a detox right for me? And some of the things, how you know if you should know, are you toxic? Most of us are toxic and don't even realize it. Like I have found that out for myself, that I was toxic. And I didn't really, well, I didn't know any better then when I was feeding all that sugar and all that stuff. But a lot of times is if you're having chronic sinus problems, that could be a sign that, you're toxic. It could also that, you have that belly bloat, after you eat. Like I was saying, you have gas after you eat certain foods. It could be that you have constipation. It could be that you have indigestion. This could be signs that you need to do a detox. It could be, you have eczema or other skin problems. It could be that you have problems with sleep. You can't go to sleep at night, or that you are sleeping too much. You might be having some emotional turmoil. Also, I just wanted to say, did you know that actually your body is probably carrying around roughly 5 to 10 pounds of toxicity? But toxicity, what is that? That's inflammation. So if you got weight in your belly and you just can't seem to get rid of it, no matter what you do, it could just be toxicity, which is inflammation. So you might be having headaches. You might even be having cellulite. All of that is related to toxicity. And guess what? A lot of times when you eat healthy foods, they're actually creating more toxins, because some of these foods aren't necessarily healthy, and they're saying they're healthy, and you're like, what is going on? So this could mean that you need to detox, that you need to do a detox. And there's lots of detoxes out there, but some of them, the benefits of whichever one you do, whether you do one where you just do juices and smoothies, maybe you just do that for a day, maybe you just do an elimination diet, whatever it is. But the thing about it is, the benefits of a detox or a cleanse is you have more energy, you have weight release, you have improved sleep, so radiant skin. So all those things that could be indicating that you're toxic, you'll also get. But the other thing is improved relationships. Like, I do a support detoxification with people every season. And what has happened is I've had people come and say that, you know what, they realize that they shouldn't be in a certain relationship anymore, that they've actually thought that, they've been able to have that conversation with people about a relationship that they should no longer be in. And that's because, like I said, this is a season about letting go of things that no longer serve you. And it could be a relationship. The other thing is enhanced self-esteem. So like I said, that fire system, our power, you feel better. You're looking better, so you're feeling better, and you have more self-esteem, and you're stepping into your greatness. Also, a sense of purpose and knowing when we've got toxins, that means even our schedule. So for myself, like I said, I had to look at my schedule and look at what no longer serves me. Why was I saying yes? Why was I on certain committees? Why was I going to certain things? And I just wasn't feeling good about it. So when I got rid of that, I had a better sense of purpose and knowing. Also more connected with your higher power. I have people who've said that when they've done a detox, that they actually felt more connected. That's because you're letting go of these toxins. So it's not just like the detox that I do is not just about cleansing or detoxing your body, even though that's a lot of it. It's also about detoxing your mind, your spirit, your environment, and as well as your relationships. So I'm going to tell you how you can detox your mind and spirit. That's going to be a bonus. Before I do that, I want to tell you about my upcoming detox. It's a supportive 14-day group cleanse. I find that doing groups is very beneficial because everyone can support, be accountable. I mean, I do the cleanse with people individually, but as a group, you just get more of that support. Like you just, say, help. I don't know what I feel this way. And someone else says, I feel this way too. And so you don't feel as alone, right? And so, are you ready? Are you ready to release an average of 3 to 5 pounds in 1 week? And that's what happens. People actually release that much weight because, like I said, this is inflammation. This is inflammation in your body, and you can actually release it. Do you want to feel lighter, experience an inner glow that others notice immediately, and have tons of natural energy, minus that crash that accompanies your daily cup of coffee? So as I've been talking about autumn time is a time to slow down, to go within, but this is also when we let go of stuff that no longer serves us. When we let go of that, we're not as toxic. We're not as toxic physically, mentally, or spiritually, and we have that inner glow as well as that outer glow. Because like I said, doing a cleanse, whether you do mine or somebody else's, it is going to get rid of the toxins, and your skin is going to be so bright. And it's just going to be like glowing, but so are your insides. So it's also letting go of what no longer serves you, creating space for what you truly desire. Like many of us as busy professionals, we're doing that should. I should do this. This is what someone said I should do. This is how I should do it. And that's, all of that fire system, like invading in our own energy, not setting our own boundaries. But this is also a cleanse. How my cleanse is different is you're also going to learn what foods and lifestyle habits nourish your 7 systems of health. And that's part of food and spirit. So the 7 systems of health is, like I said, the root system. So that is about our root chakra. And that's our system of defense, survival, and safety. The flow system, this is all about our sensuality. How do we get into our flow, our creativity, our emotions, our relationships? And so what you do is I actually give you a quiz to figure out which systems are out of balance so that you can get them in balance. This is about the fire system, which we've been talking about during this webinar. Transformation, thoughts, confidence, our power, what are we doing that's affecting our energy, and what do we do so that we have more energy and we're able to not just be doing those shoulds, but doing what we truly desire, our core. Then our love, our heart chakra, the system of self-care, service, and circulation, our love, appreciation, gratitude, all of that, and sometimes our love system, especially during, the things that are happening in the world, that's all I'm going to say right now. The things that are happening in the world can give us a lot of doubt, can cause us to grieve and feel a lot of intense sadness. And then we don't feel as open and we don't feel as connected to people. But during this detox, this is going to show you how you can. Your truth system. Your truth is, are you speaking your truth? Now, if your fire system is out of balance, what I have found for myself and my clients is when their fire system is out of balance, so is their truth. Because if I don't really know what my true power is, and I'm not in alignment with that, I'm not going to be able to speak it. And what I've also found is with your truth system, what happens is a lot of times when my clients come in, if they've had a sore throat, if they have a cough, I'm like, where are you not? In what areas of your life are you not speaking your truth? Where do you need to speak up? But it could be excessive. Maybe you're speaking too much and you're speaking too much, but not clearly and effectively. Your insight. So that's about your wisdom, your intuition, and many times we don't listen to that. We don't trust that. We feel we have to do it all. We feel like we have the weight of the world on our shoulder. And then the spirit, us connected to one another. We're all connected. We are all one. We have more similarities than we have differences. And like I said, my cleanse starts November 6th, right before the big elections. We all are one. Meaning this, why we all are here, and that we all have more similarities, differences. All right. So I'm just going to share with you. Oh, you might not be here. I'm going to see. Okay, we're back. Sorry if you're not hearing me well. Looks like my okay. So this is what one of my participants in I did an autumn fall 2015 detox. She actually said that participation in the Zest and Harmony cleanse had such an impact on me. Though I had already changed to a healthy diet, this opened me up to new food combinations and recipe ideals that were easy to implement. I also liked how holistic it was, emphasizing the mind, body, and soul connection, which is so important for me because I know very clearly how I physically manifest symptoms in response to my emotions and limiting thought patterns. I wholeheartedly recommend this program with Cassandra's warm and supportive guidance. I really felt motivation to follow through to the end, and I'm so happy that I did. And like I said, that was from one of the people who participated in my cleanse last year. and this is what happens. This is very common. It's that combination of your body, mind, and soul. Yes, there's a big thing on the body and the food you should eat, but also on the body and soul. And also, if you feel like you're eating a healthy diet, or healthy foods, but you're not getting the results you want, then this will help you. Now, if you don't eat healthy food, then this is really going to help you. So like I said, it's a 14-day cleanse. It starts November 6th. And so what do you receive? Well, you receive an autumn cleanse guide, which is a step-by-step manual. You'll receive a fall detox workbook. And this is to examine, you'll have a quiz on how toxic you are. You'll be able to set intentions and goals. You receive a recipe. Like I'm like a recipe, I love to give recipes. and so it's got over 60 recipes that are going to help to improve your digestion, decrease inflammation, and keep you feeling satisfied. This is not about deprivation. This is not like my spring cleanse is more intense because it's springtime. Springtime is, again, it's going into that yang energy. So you're going to have more energy. This is more like an elimination detox. So it's much more gentle on your system, but you still get the results because it's a longer period of time. You also get daily email supports where I'm telling you, we're going to be focusing on the different systems, each, with, the root, the spirit, so different suggestions on how to do that. You're getting a food diary, daily movements that you can do. I have 4 group calls. We have a kickoff call, a wrap-up call, and then 2 calls in between, private Facebook group, and much more. And then I got tons of bonuses. I want you to be successful in this. So the first 10 who register, they get a whole detox book by Dr. Deanna Minich, which is one of my mentors. Great book. You can see the bonuses: oil pulling challenge, essential oil. I'm big on essential oils. A castor oil wrap guide. You also get recordings. I have over 100 recordings that I've done because I used to have a community called Just Be Wellness, Balance, Empowered, and Energized. And so I want you to be successful. So I have a recording from Clutter Your Life and Declutter. I got a typo. So it says clutter, but it's Declutter Your Life and Space by Sherry Burden Ways. I interviewed her. She is an interior designer, and she really talks about, because this is not, like I said, this is also about your environment. Studies have shown that having a cluttered environment is very toxic to your mind, body, and spirit. And so this is how you can create that. And the other thing is detox your thoughts and create your best life, because our thoughts create our beliefs, create our reality. So for a lot of us, we can do all this. We can eat healthy. We can exercise. We can have a toxic-free environment. But guess what? We might have very, very negative thoughts. And I'm not going to say you're going to be positive all the time, but it's being aware of your thoughts. And what can you do to shift those when those negative thoughts come up? The Coconut Oil Miracle. So that's by Dr. Bruce Fife, who has a book, The Coconut Oil. And since I'm talking about how to do the coconut oil challenge, I have an interview with him. Holistic Women's Movement with Alice Bracegirdle. She has Belly Fit. I am a teacher for Belly Fit, and this is about the system. So this is about fun movement for women, empowering movement, tribal movement, getting your root, your sacral, all of that, your solar plexus balance, and sex imbalance. All right, because part of this is we want to be juicy, right? A lot of times toxic. If we're toxic, we're not going to be juicy, just juicy. So having your sex imbalance with Dr. Lori Steele Smith. So you get all those. That's just by joining. So if you register for today, actually, it's $97. So, and you go to Autumn Detox, bit.ly, Autumn Detox, and you can register. And like I said, the cleanse starts August. See, I'm in the summer. I'm so yang. I'm so November 6th. And if you register, you'll get all of a sudden some things to start immediately. Until then, before that cleanse. So I would love to have you. If you have any questions, you can post them in the chat box. And I wanted to give you this cleansing your mind and spirit, as well as for you all on a bonus. And the bonus I'm going to tell you, since you stayed on, is how to create a blissful meditation space, because really this is the time of year to go within. So if you're on, here's the link. I also see some people on the phone. So if you're on the phone, I will send you that bonus just for being here, because I think I really appreciate you all for being here, for taking the time out of your schedule, and I want to honor you for that. And so it's just a little handout that talks about how to create a blissful meditation space, because like I said, this is a time. So some of these bonus tips, so we talked about the 3 strategies to feel lighter, more energetic, is 1, eating within the season. And I told you the foods to eat within the season, are the foods that are abundant now: sweet potatoes and parsnips and pumpkin and butternut squash, as well as some of the spices, cinnamon and turmeric and black peppers and jalapeno, really, helping that digestive system, as well as so that other strategy is nourishing your fire system and how you can do that. And then the bonus here is cleansing your mind and spirit, because, as well as part of that, your digestive system, how to restore your digestive system. But you're cleansing your mind and spirit. So your mind, our mind, as many busy professionals, we're always thinking, right? Always thinking. And write things down, write it down. So if things come up, sometimes we have to declutter our mind by writing it down. So that could be keeping a journal. If you don't like journal, maybe it's just being creative and drawing what's on your mind and then letting that go. Meditation. I know when I first found out about meditation, I was thinking, I can't do meditation because I will, I felt like meditation, like my mind, that I would have to stop, like I would have to stop thinking, but that's not what it's about. I'm a big proponent and teacher of mindfulness meditation. And mindfulness meditation is about just being mindful of your thoughts. So when I talked about like negativity, detoxing your thoughts is being mindful of the thoughts that you think. And when you meditate, you're just being aware of that. I'm telling you, meditation has been like my magic bullet. I'm calmer, I'm more intuitive. So meditation also, it helps the mind, but it also helps the spirit. Deplug, do a deplug day. As part of the cleanse, I actually have people do a deplug day. I mean, I don't know if some of them do it, some of them don't, but we're so busy. I love technology. I love it. But sometimes think about how long we're on our emails, we're on our cell phones, we're on the we're watching the news, we're on the internet, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, Twitter, and sometimes just deplugging from that can clear your mind. Yoga. Oh, love yoga. There's so many poses that you can do that actually calm your mind. Also nourish all those health systems, all your chakras that I was talking about. There are yoga moves that can do that. Dancing. So you might think, well, that is movement, but actually when I dance, I'm in the present moment. I'm not thinking anything else. I am rocking it out, and I'm all about taking dance breaks. I love taking dance breaks. Positive affirmations, just saying I am. And if you don't believe it, because a lot of times people say affirmations don't work, the law of attraction don't work, you really got to believe that. But you got to get clear on your fire system. What's your purpose? What is that? And sometimes just saying it in the mirror. I tell people to look in the mirror daily for 30 days and say whatever. I'll say, I am beautiful inside and out. I am successful, or I'm starting to believe I am successful. You can do that. If you don't believe it, I am starting to believe. I am. Powerful statement. Spirit, allowing your feelings. So many times it's like, I was talking about traditional Chinese medicine and about grief and all that stuff. And as a society, we think it's bad to grieve. If you've grieved for 2 days, that's enough. Get over it. But it's like allowing that. Don't get stuck in it, but allow it. Whatever you're feeling, because guess what? When at the end of the day, we all do things because of feelings. If it makes us feel good, if it makes us feel bad, be present with your emotions. Don't, because many of us, we will bury them, or we'll stuff ourselves with sugar and carbohydrates because we want to numb them. Be present. Our emotions are so powerful. They can tell us so many things. Be present with them. Allow them. You don't have to act on them, but you allow them. Some of the aromas, some of the essential oils that can help with, your spirit and cleansing, your frankincense, sandalwood, lavender are some of my favorite. They're the ones that you can use and diffuse, and they help to connect to your spirit, help to connect, like I was talking about, that crown chakra, opening that up, recognizing that we are all one. You can read, you can watch and listen to things that are uplifting. So many things in our world can be so negative. And I'm not saying to, avoid those and not be aware, but let's even that out. Let's balance that out with things that are uplifting, that make your heart sing, that make you smile, being aware of that. If you feel like your thoughts are more negative than positive, then look at what you're watching, look at what you're listening to, look at what you're reading. I bet you there's a correlation. And if there is, shift it. If you want to have more positivity, if you want to have more happiness, if you want to have that glow where people look at you and just like, there is something about you. I am so attracted to you and your energy. Hey, it's what you put in is going to come out. And only do things that are in alignment with you. You all are brilliant. You all are beautiful. You all are magnificent. Know that, believe that, go from the core. And guess what? Say no to things that aren't in alignment with you. And you know what? Things that are, say, hell yeah, bring it on, bring it on. So those are just, some tips. And there's, like I said, I give tons more in my 14-day detox. So any questions? I'm also going to put the link up here for the detox if you want to join in. But like I said, even if you don't join that, just picking something that you would like to do during the autumn season that kind of detox, anything that you learned from today that you want to do. So I'm going to open people's line and see if you, I think this is, I use different things and I always forget how to enable, to undo it. To allow to see if you have any questions or you want to speak. I don't know if that's going to happen. So, well, yeah, I don't think it is. So anyway, I just want to say, well, if you have any questions, you can email me at Cassandra@zestandharmonycounseling.com, Cassandra@zestandharmonycounseling.com. So again, I thank you for being here, and any way that I can support you on your health and wellness journey, on just feeling healthy, happy, energized, and at ease in all areas of your life, please reach out to me. Let me know. And I thank you for your time. And until next time, take care, everyone. Namaste. Bye-bye.